Today it is Saturday, which means it is parkrun day, and today we are heading off to Three Brooks Parkrun. So the Three Brooks Parkrun is a relatively new parkrun, with it being event number 8 today, and it's located to the north side of Bristol at Bradley-Stoke, and it's located at the Three Brooks Lake. So the course is anti-clockwise, out and back, and it is 2 laps of the course as well. It is made up of naturally compacted earth as well, so road shoes are completely fine for this course. However, in the winter months, maybe it might be a bit more squelchy / muddy, and there were some puddles on the day, so maybe trail shoes are preferred if you have them. However, this is a very flat course, so there is the potential for a PB, but it is quite busy too, which you will see later on, so you may lose some seconds there. And it is also dog friendly and buggy / pram friendly. However, if you do have a dog, do make sure to bring it on a short lead. There are no toilets at the start, however, so if you do need the toilet, the closest ones are about 15 minutes away at the Willow Brook Centre, which is where you can park if you drive to the parkrun. So with it being around the Three Brooks Lake, it is okay in terms of aesthetics. It's not the most scenic parkrun that I have done, but it is also not the least scenic parkrun I have done. It's quite a basic one, just straight out and back, just surrounded by trees pretty much. But with that being said, with it being a quick one, maybe you want to attend just to try and get a new PB. But before we go any further, if you don't know what a parkrun is, it is essentially a 5k free run, which is set up by a group of volunteers who both time and marshal the event. When you hit the finish line, you'll be given a finish token, which you'll then scan with your own personalised barcode from the parkrun website. This will link the two together, and then you'll be emailed later on your finish position and your finish time. So now you know what a parkrun is, let's take a look at the course. So it is a 2-lapper, both anti-clockwise, and it is out and back on both sides. You start at the centre at the Three Brooks Lake, and then you head your way to the north, followed by to the west. There's an elevation gain of about 10 metres with a max elevation of 51 metres in total, but with it being flat, it's a good chance for a PB. And now let's take a look at the course in a bit more detail. So this one should be a fairly easy one, as it is a nice and simple one. So you're going to start off at the Three Brooks Lake here in the centre where the picnic benches are. You're going to head your way north following Patchway Brook and the Bradley-Stoke Community School. Then once you get close to Ormonds Close, you are going to do a U-turn there and head your way back down to where you just came from. You're then going to pass those picnic benches again, and this time follow alongside Stoke Brook. You'll end up going underneath the Bradley-Stoke Way and a little bit further as you head your way towards Hawkins Crescent. You then do another U-turn, head your way back towards where you started, and then it's a sprint finish back to the picnic benches, and that is where you're going to end. So it's a really simple park run, this one, and not really anywhere where you can go wrong. It's a few turnings that you may see on your way past, but there's going to be a volunteer stood there, and there's a volunteer at each U-turn as well. So really simple one, and a nice flat and easy one too. So now we know what the course is like, let's take a look at some of the stats which have been set at the Three Brooks Parkrun so far. So the fastest male so far has been Adam Whitaker with a time of 15 minutes and 49 seconds, and then the fastest female was Freya Bradley with a time of 17 minutes and 8 seconds, both times incredibly fast. The average number of runners is 359, so as I was saying earlier, pretty busy one with an average time of 27 minutes and 4 seconds, which is again a very quick time for an average. So they are some of the fastest times which have been set at Three Brooks Parkrun, and now let's take a look at some of my stats. So my GoPro stats is showing so far the number of parkruns which I've done is 52, the number of locations is 37, so we're heading our way towards that half Cowl Club. My best finish position is in 4th, and that was set at Zielony Jar in Poland, and my fastest times range from 22:32 down to 23:10, with Summerdale Pavilion being my quickest park run so far. And now let's make our way down to the park run. As you can see, a very cloudy and grey day today for the park run. Everyone going underneath these barriers here to get into the start funnel. I like the fact they funneled that bit off because the path is about that wide altogether, so if they had it too wide then it would be a bit of a mishmash right at the start of the run. But everyone is getting prepared to go. It's not that cold, but it's also not that warm. It's sort of in the middle, but once you get moving it gets a lot warmer. But as you can see, a very busy start here, everyone clumped up in one section, so it looks like it could be a pretty slow start on the cards, but we'll have to see in just a moment. So the picnic benches are actually just to the left of us as well, and the people that scan the barcodes will be on the right hand side too at the end. And we're about to set off in 3, 2, 1. We are off, and the park run has started, and as you can see already, it is a slow start. We're basically walking now, slowly moving into a gentle jog. Slow start there, running about 8 minutes per kilometre. And now we're beginning to pick up the pace, but again, still a slow start, very compact. And there's someone there on the left-hand side pushing a buggy, so I feel sorry for them because of how compact it is. But we've started off to hopefully trying to aim to get under 25 minutes this week, but it has started off slowly, so maybe that one might be a bit of a push, but we'll have to see once we hit our maximum pace. So we are about a minute into the run and we are finally getting close to our pace. You may start to notice on the ground as well some puddles all about, but it's still pretty busy here at the moment, and people will start to come back after they have ran the first length. You see a huge puddle there on that right hand side, so on the way back you can see that getting pretty congested, especially in lap 2. We're sticking off to that left hand side right now as there are people on the right, and then we are cutting across, and finally I'd say we're about at the pace which we want to be. Nice and flat though, as you can see as well, the elevation's not changed much at all so far, so hopefully we can start to pick up the pace a little bit and try and make our way towards that 25-minute time or below. So we're just coming up to that 3-minute mark, almost halfway, well about halfway across towards the top of that first lap, and then we're going to be doing a U-turn up there. The ground as well, what is good to note is that it is a little bit rocky as well, so if you are worried about twisting your ankle and stuff, keep an eye a little bit on the ground, and it might be a little bit slippy too as it had rained on the day today, so around the puddles especially where it's a bit muddier, as it is just literally a natural earth compaction, there is the risk of slipping. You've got people there on the left hand side now running back as well, so you can see it is getting quite congested here as everyone has to slot in and keep the person in front's pace without being able to overtake them. So it's a little bit similar to 5 Arches if you have watched or done 5 Arches before in terms of the width of the path, so it is very compact. See the little doggo there, happy golden retriever running past, and now we're going to head towards that U-turn. And here it is, so we're coming up towards that U-turn now. Our pace should drop a little bit here, and then we're going to sprint up again to try and pick up the pace, as this is probably a little bit of an incline here. You can see it's gone from 53 to 54 metres. We've managed to overtake the person there in front of us, but if you do want any other information on all of the elevations and the paces that I was running at, I will leave a link to my I will leave a link to the Strava in the description below, so you can go and check that out. Just coming past 6 minutes, and as you can see, it has begun to spread out a lot, so you've got the space and freedom to run at your own pace. So we have managed to pick up the pace a little bit too, especially after that slow start. I will think it is going to be quite difficult now to beat that 25-minute time. The elevation on that right hand side you can see as well is staying pretty much the same at approximately 52 meters, so it's still nice and flat on the return. And if you are enjoying this video and you do enjoy these type of videos, do make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new as well. It goes a long way, and we try and get a part run video out every week, and if not, I go out for a 5k run anyway and we'll get a video one of those. So there is that big puddle that we spotted on the way out. You want to make sure that you stay away from that unless you love running in the puddles, because I know some runners do, and especially the fast ones as well at the front, they sprint through them, so you might get wet anyway just from the splashes from them. We're at 1.5 kilometers now at about a 7.5 minute time, so not a bad start, a little bit slower than I would have liked, but that was mainly due to the start. But I'm quite happy with the pace that I'm running at right now, and I feel pretty good running at this pace too, which is good because I'm trying to improve every week since my injuries. And now you may begin to recognise this section from the start. This is where it starts. A cute golden sausage dog there on the left hand side. You don't often see many of those. but we're now heading our way to the west side along Stoke Brook. So you can see there's a little bit of a downhill there, followed by a little bit of an incline as well as we head across on the west side. You can see some people keeping to the right now, because there will be people on the left hand side now running past there. You can see first and second position here on the left. There they go. So you've got a little bit more space now because everyone has spread out, which is good. So I think the main issue with the Three Brooks Parkrun is how busy it is. There's not really, apart from that, there's not really any issues, and it's quite a simple parkrun. You can't really go wrong in terms of the routes. There's also some nice benches on the sides as well, and obviously the picnic bench as well at the start. So if you did want to sit and enjoy and watch, then you can go and do that too. You may be able to see as well that the ground around here is cracked, so there is a few little, not potholes as such, but a few small cracks which your feet can fall into, those slight crevices. So do be careful in this section. You don't want to twist an ankle or trip over, as I found out when I twisted my ankle, and I'm now on the recovery, so it is pretty painful. You can see in the distance here that the U-turn is now coming up, so there's the sign for it, the volunteer pointing us in that right direction. We'll do that U-turn, the pace will probably drop a little bit, and then pick back up again. This guy in red that is now in front of us we use as a pacer for pretty much the rest of this run too, but we're heading back towards the start now for the completion of lap 1. So you may have seen, as we are heading back towards the start, some cute doggos. There was quite a lot of dogs on the day as well, so if you like dogs, definitely come and attend this park run. Still some puddles here on the right and left to dodge. Someone flying past us there as well, a couple more dogs, and we can now see in the distance the start. So this will be the end of lap 1. So as you can see, my Strava, as usual, has overestimated it, and we're now saying that we're at 2.6 kilometers when we're actually at 2.5. So we need to run at a quicker than 5 minute per kilometer pace, because it is going to be more than 5 kilometers. But there's those picnic benches on the right hand side, some volunteers waiting, a few more puddles as well to dodge, and now we are heading into lap 2. So we've just hit 3 kilometers. Well, it says 3 kilometers, but it's probably not. And it is at a time of 14 minutes and 30 seconds. So it's a little bit behind time right now if we do want to get under 25 minutes, because obviously the extra kilometers that have been added on. But most of that has probably been taken away from the start being so busy. So I'm not too bothered about getting sub 25 now, as the start was so busy, but I just want to sort of try my best. And as long as I don't injure myself, I'll be happy, because if I injure myself again, I'm out from parkrun for weeks and I'll be very annoyed. And so we're just passing someone there with a 250 top on, so well done to them. 250 park runs is impressive. It's currently we're running at a good pace, and we're actually managing to pace ourselves at the moment, which is what I've been working on for a while now, just trying to keep to a pace and not go above it or below it. So the first kilometre was at 5 minutes and 1 second, but that was mainly due to the fact that we had a slow start. The second kilometre was 4:52, and the third kilometre was also 4:52. So my pacing is getting a lot better. Obviously that's the Strava kilometres, not the park run kilometres. But we are now heading back up towards that U-turn for the final time to do at the end of this stretch. And here it is, there's the U-turn. So we're going to head our way back towards where we started, and then that will be that leg complete. So it's only the short, small, stubby leg after which we need to do, and then it is a race to the finish. And so that is 4 Strava kilometers done. That one was 19 minutes and 20 seconds as well, and that one we ran at a time of about 4:55 per kilometer. So I was pretty happy with that. Again, really good with the pacing, only 3 seconds off my pace before for the previous kilometer, so I'm happy with that, and I'm really chuffed that I'm able to pace myself now rather than going off too quickly at the start and just lagging and doing over 5 minutes in the second half of the run. So we just need to keep this up and hopefully all should be good. And maybe without the start being so slow, we could have got under 25 minutes again, which I'll be happy with because that'll be the first time since injury. You can see the tail walker there on that right hand side, the big puddle to dodge. So this is probably the most constricted bit, especially when it's wet, as you don't want to run into the people that are coming from the other direction. But here we go, back to the start, and then we've got the short leg to go. And there we go, so that is the long leg complete. We don't have to go back to that section at all. We've got some people finishing there on that left hand side as well, and now we've just got the Stoke Brook stretch to go. So we're going to come back down this hill, head our way to the U-turn. You can see some people finishing there on the left, and then head our way back to the finish line and see what our time is. And we're now heading under the bridge, which we saw in the detailed description of the course. So heading under that bridge, there's the brook there on the left-hand side. As I was saying earlier as well, it's not like a stunning, amazing park run, but it's got a really good atmosphere to it. And I quite like the fact that you pass each other because my girlfriend was there on the day as well. So I was able to give her a little wave as we passed it. We're now at a time of almost coming up to 23 minutes, and it says we're on 4.7 kilometres, but we know that we've got an extra 200 metres of Strava kilometre to go. We're heading towards that U-turn now, and then it'll be a sprint finish towards the finish line. So here is that U-turn, and the slower walkers are going to try and keep to that right-hand side so that they don't collide with us faster runners. We're now picking up the pace a little bit as well, as we know that the finish line is in sight, about 400 metres to go, maybe 300 metres. Got a couple of people there ahead of us. We have decided to leave our red pacer as well now and try and pick up the pace a little bit too, because I felt like I had a little bit more energy than I thought I would do at this point. But we're now going to go towards the finish line, and then it'll be a sprint finish, which we'll cut back to in just a second. So as you can see, we're beginning to overtake a few people as we do speed up. The finish line is just in the distance now. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get under 25 minutes, unfortunately, this week, but that is all good. The start was quite a slow one, so in my head I'm just saying to myself that I probably would have got around 25 minutes if it wasn't for the slow start, because I was happy with the pace throughout the rest of it. As you can see, the sprint has built up now as we head our way towards that finish line. We're currently running at a 3 minute 30 pace, so the speed has increased dramatically as we get towards that finish line. And here we go, the doggo crossing there, the final corner to the finish. What time can we get? And we're going to end up with a time of 25 minutes and 34 seconds with a finish position of 107th. So some fast people at today's park run for sure. We're giving our barcode there. Thank you very much. And now let's take a look at a summary. And so that is Three Brooks Parkrun complete, ticking off another T on the alphabet. So we've now done, I believe, 7 Ts. So the T's are flying ahead in terms of park runs, which we have done so far. There was no other real achievements which I got from doing this one. I got obviously the extra Cal Club and my position, actually, because I've never come 7th. Actually, for coming 107th, it counts as the 7, so I managed to get that as well. So again, this is one of my slower times, but I'm not too bothered about it. I'm back running, and with the injuries, I did expect a slower time, but hopefully next time, if we get a quick start, maybe we can get underneath that 25 minutes, but we'll have to see whether we can do that. But it's not really a slow one, so if you are attending and you're thinking, oh god, that's a slow one, no, it's not. It is definitely a potential for a PB, especially if you're near the front. However, if you do get stuck in the middle, you do lose good 10, maybe even 20, 30, 40 seconds off your start time, depending on how far from the front you are. But as you can see, it was a very busy park run, and that bottleneck at the start did slow everybody down. However, towards the middle and end, it all spreads out, so everyone can run at their own pace, which is good. And the atmosphere was great as well. There was quite a lot of people, lots of dogs as well, and being a dog over a cat guy, I did quite enjoy seeing all of those different dogs. And then a huge thank you as well to all of the volunteers who were there on the day, because without them the park run would not go ahead. The run director was great as well. It was her 8th time directing a park run because they've only been going on for 8 weeks, and she's currently not lost any finish position token. So I'm hoping that this week as well we'll keep that streak going. But we'll take a quick look at a couple of the pinch points which we did see at the park run, even though it was that quick. So we obviously have the busy start, so the bottleneck at the start, you lost your time. We've gone over that a few times now, so we'll skip over that one. Then the second one is the U-turn. So obviously at each U-turn, which you do have to do, you have to slow down to pretty much a stop because of how tight the path is, and then turn around and push your way back forwards to try and get back to the pace that you're at previously. So that definitely took a few seconds off our time. And then finally the puddles. If you're the sort of person that wants to dodge puddles, you'll find that you are going around the puddles, which is taking a little bit more time, or you're trying to time your steps so that you don't land in the puddle. So that definitely takes a couple of seconds off your time too. But apart from that, a pretty quick one, nice and flat, and definitely recommend giving it an attend. We are now moving into the tips and tricks section of the video for anyone that is thinking of attending the park run, and we always start off with public transport to begin with, as that is the recommended transport if you do ever want to go to a park run. So we'll start off with the train stations. If you want to get there by train, there are 2 stations which are fairly close. We'll start off with Parkway, so Bristol Parkway is a 40-minute walk from there. You can get a bus from there as well, which takes 17 minutes and drops you off about 5 minutes from the start, or you can get a taxi from there and that'll take you about 7 minutes. The buses, which if you do want to get the bus, it is the 73, the T1 or the M1. All 3 of those buses stop off just outside. And then there's also the Patchway station, which you can go from to, and that is a 28-minute walk from there, or it's a 6-minute taxi drive to drop you off just outside too. And so in terms of the buses, the closest bus stop is the Bridge. So the Bridge is literally just a 5-minute walk from the start line. So if you get the bus, definitely recommend stopping off there. And then finally, if you want to get there by car, there is parking, and it's free parking for 4 hours at the Willow Brook Centre car park. So from there, it's a 15-minute walk to the start line, and there's lots of toilets and stuff and shops and food places which you can get food after from there too. But if you do enjoy the socialising side, at the end of the park run, everyone meets up at Cafe Soho, which is located here at the Bradley Stoke Leisure Centre. So from there is a 13-minute walk from the start/finish line. So they are all my tips and tricks for this park run, and if you have any more, do make sure to let us know down in that comment section below, and I'll try and pin your comments up to the top. But now we're going to take a look at my after run stats. So not much has changed to these stats. The number of park runs has increased to 53, and the number of locations increasing to 38. My best finish position was 4th still, and my best times have all ranged from 22:32 to 23:10. So whether I'm ever going to get there again, we don't know, but at the moment we are a couple of minutes off, so I don't see us beating any of those anytime soon. But I hope you all enjoyed this video and my review of Three Brooks Parkrun, and if you did, do make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It goes a long way and I appreciate it very much, so thank you for that. And if you want to go and check out last week's video, we actually went off to South Manchester Parkrun. It was on the same day that the Oasis tickets came out, so we had a good time there, but that was very hot. Or you can go and check out my other park runs in my worldwide park run playlist, including park runs in Poland, Norway, Finland, Ireland, so all around Europe, which you can go and see those ones which we've attended there. I'm not sure which one we are going to be doing next week. It'll probably be another Bristol one, so maybe Blaze Castle, Shepton Mallet, one of those around there. So I hope you all did enjoy this one, and I'll see you all in the next one.